they don't want to be known. What we can do is judge their actions.
Do they want to help us? Do they want to harvest us?
Ever noticed how grand everything about space feels? But at the same time, how spooky the aliens seem. Be it Elliot from E.T. the Extraterrestrial, who helped a stranded alien being chased by the authorities, or Captain Steve from the Independence Day, who saved planet Earth from a massive alien invasion. We have seen so many extraterrestrial encounters in Hollywood, leading us to wonder, do aliens really exist? Or are they just a projection of our imagination? But this video isn't about fiction. This time, it's about real people sharing real experiences with extraterrestrials in real time. From hanging out with aliens to having a love affair with them, these people have made some strange, bizarre claims. Their claims, real or not, you decide. Let's dive in. Number 1, Peter Faust. First, we have Peter Faust, a regular guy who kept a big secret for a long time. Apparently, he believed that he was abducted by aliens since he was a kid. Sounds crazy, right? But this doesn't end here. He even made these claims on the famous Oprah Winfrey Show. Though Peter used to be terrified to talk about his experience, he shared this stuff hoping to connect with others who might be going through the same thing. He even went through therapy to dig up memories of his encounters. And what he encountered in his therapy sessions was wild stuff. I am talking about being lifted onto a spaceship and getting probed by aliens. He described them as creatures with large, pear-shaped heads and almond eyes gathered all around him. On the show, he said, "I remember lying on the table, lying naked, having probes put around me and experiments done on me." He also said, "They were looking in my eyes and ears round my body." Initially, Peter thought maybe it was all just a bad dream, but the memories stuck with him for a long time, and that's not even the worst part. Even his psychiatrist, Johnny Mack, noticing the emotional intensity in these recollections, thought that these memories were more than just dreams. He says there's a real fear of being mocked for talking about alien stuff. It's like a big secret club that no one wants to join. So what's the moral of Peter's story? Sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction, and maybe, just maybe, there's more to the universe than we know. Number 2. Nina Kulagina. This Russian woman made headlines in 1960 with her psychokinetic abilities. Nina Kulagina. She was a seemingly ordinary housewife with an extraordinary claim. According to her, she could stop a frog's heart just by thinking about it, a phenomenon much like what we know as telekinesis. And yes, she actually did it. Back in 1970, while sitting in a room at the Ukhtomsky Military Institute in Leningrad, Russia, Kulagina astonished scientists by allegedly stopping the beating heart of a frog using only her mind. Nina took about 7 minutes to achieve this feat after a 20-minute preparation. The frog's heart was connected to electrodes, and Kulagina's own heart rate spiked as she concentrated. Sounds creepy, right? But Kulagina didn't stop there. In a jaw-dropping display, she attempted to control the heart rate of a skeptical physician in the room, causing his heartbeat to skyrocket within minutes. This led to an abrupt end to the experiment. This paranormal display caught the attention of the U.S. Defense Department, sparking debates about psychic abilities and Soviet intentions during the Cold War era. And did I tell you, the Cold War wasn't just about military might and political intrigue. It expanded into the world of the paranormal, with both the US and the USSR exploring psychic phenomena for potential advantages over the enemy. Nina Kulagina herself faced accusations of fraud, but there were many who did believe her powers, thinking maybe she had some kind of cosmic energy or maybe she belonged to another planet. The story of Kulagina takes us to a point where reality blurs with the seemingly impossible, reminding us that truth can indeed be stranger than fiction. Do you know? Even today, the legacy of psychic warfare continues, with reports suggesting that Russia continued to employ military psychics well beyond the Cold War era. Who knows, we are being spied on right now by such psychic powers, so better watch out. Number 3. Billy Meyer. How would it feel to have friends from another world, and you brag about it in front of your human friends? Though I couldn't have the opportunity, Billy Meyer surely had. This Swiss guy claimed that he had been hanging out with aliens since he was a kid. He said that these beings are from a star cluster called the Pleiades, and they've been giving him all sorts of info about life, science, and spirituality. According to Meyer, his alien pals started visiting him when he was just 5 years old in 1942. He also stated that he's had ongoing contact with them throughout his life, with one of the main beings he chatted with being a lady named Semjase. Meyer's story got even wilder because he claimed that he had tons of evidence to back it up. Apparently, he had photos, videos, and writings supposedly given to him by these Pleiadians. Some of these pics allegedly show UFOs and even the aliens themselves, but of course, not everyone was buying it. Skeptics say Meyer's evidence is sketchy at best, accusing him of faking some of the photos and videos to make his story seem legit. Despite the controversy, Meyer's story made him a big deal in the UFO community in the late 1900s. He's still out there sharing his experiences and teachings, whether you believe him or not. So whether you think Billy Meyer's the real deal or just spinning a wild tale, his story adds another layer to the whole debate about aliens and what might be going on out there in the universe while we live on Earth. Number 4. King Tutankhamun. Imagine stumbling upon a dagger belonging to a king only to realize it's made from something not belonging to the Earth. That's exactly what happened when Howard Carter was exploring King Tutankhamun's tomb in 1925. Now, the king himself never claimed to have been from space, but this discovery definitely made even the sharpest of minds think it through. Could he have been to space? Or did some aliens come to meet him and leave him this dagger as a gift? Or maybe he himself was an alien? Among the treasures of the king was a dagger crafted from a peculiar metal, one that didn't originate on Earth, but rather from a meteorite. Wild, isn't it? This discovery raised eyebrows because it was way before the widespread use of iron in ancient Egypt. While the rest of the world was just starting to toy with iron, King Tutankhamun owned a dagger made from the stars themselves. Quite a king he must have been. Modern science has only deepened the mystery. Analysis of the dagger's metal composition reveals a close match to iron meteorites. The presence of nickel further validates its extraterrestrial origins. It's like finding a piece of outer space right in the heart of ancient Egypt. But this isn't just about material composition, it's a window into the prowess and beliefs of people at that time. Crafting a dagger from meteoritic iron required serious skill and know-how. So how did he even manage to get one made at a time when no high-tech tools were available? King Tutankhamun's space dagger isn't just a relic, it's an interesting peek into a time when people thought about space differently. It shows us that even back then, humans were curious about what was up in the sky. Number 5. Claude Marcel. What would you do if someone came to you claiming prophethood? Wouldn't you be skeptical? I mean, who wouldn't be? But what if I tell you there was a whole cult even back in 1973 following an alleged prophet? Claude Vorilhom, born in France in 1946, took a fascinating turn in life, transitioning from a career in sports journalism to becoming the leader of the Raelian movement, an international UFO religion. Yeah, a UFO religion solely based on aliens and UFOs. It all started in 1973 when Rael claimed to have encountered an alien named Yahweh, leading to the creation of the Raelian movement. After this, he not only wrote numerous books, but also traveled across the globe promoting his beliefs. He promoted the belief that the start of humanity and events like the Garden of Eden were actually parts of a huge experiment by extraterrestrial beings. However, Rael wasn't one without controversy either. Until now, his work has been accused of plagiarism, with some passages in his books bearing a resemblance to other writings. In the 1990s, Rael's life took a drastic turn when former followers raised serious allegations, including claims of imprisonment and disturbing rituals within the movement. More recently, in 2007, Rael's bid to settle in Switzerland was rejected due to concerns over his advocacy for sexual liberty and human cloning, both forbidden in the country. But what exactly is Raelism? It's a unique blend of atheism and belief in extraterrestrial creators, the Elohim. Followers meditate daily, advocating for sexual experimentation and promoting the idea of physical immortality through human cloning. Bizarre, right? They see a future where scientific progress leads to peace, the return of the Elohim, and the start of a utopian era. We might be in 2024, but things are going on in the world that are surely not sane to believe, and this one was just another example of that. Number 6. George Adamski. The Colorado Desert is famous not only for its grandeur, but for Adamski as well. Adamski was quite a character in UFO stories, spinning tales of close encounters with extraterrestrials that fascinated many. One of his most famous stories was about meeting a Venusian alien named Orthon in the Colorado Desert. Although Orthon didn't want his picture taken, Adamski snapped what he believed was the alien's spaceship in a blurry, puzzling photo. But when people looked closely at Adamski's pictures, they found them quite unclear. Many were either too bright or too dark, making it hard to see anything that looked like an alien craft. Still, die-hard UFO fans found these images intriguing, adding to the mystery of Adamski's adventures. As if that wasn't enough, Adamski's tales got even wilder, involving encounters with beings from Mars and Saturn. He said they took him to the desert to reunite with Orthon. These stories were all part of his books like Inside the Spaceships, which hooked readers with their mystical plots. He even teamed up with Desmond Leslie, who shared his beliefs, to write The Flying Saucers Have Landed. This collaboration lent credibility to Adamski's claims and kept people talking about his experiences. He became a leading figure in the Space Brother movement, which is all about living in peace with beings from other planets. But not everyone bought into Adamski's stories. Some doubted their truthfulness and questioned the quality of his photos, suggesting they might be made up or just misunderstandings. Despite the doubts, Adamski's tales remain an intriguing part of UFO lore, with a number of UFO fans mesmerized by his experiences. Number 7. Howard Menger. Howard Menger was quite the character, claiming he hung out with beings from Venus back in the 1950s. Born in New Jersey in 1922, he did all sorts of odd jobs, from painting signs to snapping photos. But what really set him apart were his wild stories about hanging out with extraterrestrials. Just thinking of the idea seems cool and weird. Imagine claiming to have actually experienced it. Menger said it all started with a UFO sighting near his home, where he spotted these tall, blonde aliens with super advanced gadgets. He even said he had ridden on their spaceships to visit other planets, including Venus. These crazy tales made him a hit in the UFO world. He hit up conferences, wrote books, and shared his out-of-this-world experiences with anyone who'd listen. And let me tell you, plenty of folks found his stories totally captivating, thinking he was the real deal when it came to alien encounters. But no one is spared of eyebrows. Skeptics raised questions, suggesting maybe he was just spinning tall tales or letting his imagination run wild. Whether you buy into Menger's stories or not, they sure do add a juicy twist to the whole UFO saga. I even had a thought that maybe he himself was an alien and was trying to tell us something. Anyway, his adventures keep the mystery alive. Do aliens really exist? Number 8. Barisa Kiririnovich. Meet Barisa! And mind you, he isn't just your average kid with wild fantasies. Barisa Kiririnovich, nicknamed Barisa the Indigo Child, is a Russian boy with a fascinating story that went viral at the time of its coverage. Born in 1996, Barisa claimed from a young age to be reborn on Earth with a mission to warn humanity of impending disasters. He also claimed to have vivid memories of past life on Mars, memories with visuals of Martian civilization, advanced technology, and even telepathic communication. I know that sounds creepy, and by this time you must be thinking the guy has just wild imagination, or maybe his perceptions have been altered. But what makes Bariska's story even more intriguing is the extraordinary intelligence and knowledge he displayed. By the time he was only 4 months old, he could already say words, and by the age of 8 months, he was already speaking full sentences. Plus, he showed a natural talent and interest in astronomy. which definitely makes us take back our stance of him not being in his senses. Barisa claimed to have witnessed Martian civilizations and their doom as well by the nuclear war. According to Barisa, there are other indigo children on Earth who came here with the same mission, to save humanity from a fate like that of Martians. Some people have argued that his memories could be the result of an overactive imagination or an influence of sci-fi movies. But Barisa's story continues to captivate UFO enthusiasts, straightening their belief in paranormal phenomena and reincarnation. Number 9. Alex Collier. 92 days in space felt like 18 minutes on Earth, claimed Alex Collier, the guy who had been chatting with aliens from the Pleiades, a star cluster, since he was a kid. Though Alex's wild journey began when he was just a kid back in 1964, he kept his out-of-this-world experiences a secret until 1989. According to Alex, these Pleiadians are humanoid beings who are all about helping humanity out and sharing some serious wisdom advice about spirituality and the universe. Now here's where it gets interesting, or maybe a total nutcase. According to him, these Pleiadians have been spilling the extraterrestrial beans on everything, from government secrets to the future of our planet. He was giving talks, doing interviews, and writing stuff about his out-of-this-world encounters for years, and all of them made many believe in his claims too. Alex described being taken to a ginormous spaceship straight from Andromeda. Despite feeling like he spent some 92 days there, back on Earth only 18 minutes had passed. Alex said that he feels honored to have met the aliens. He described their spaceship as huge, like 900 meters long, with 24 floors full of cool stuff. But once again, just like everyone else on this list, there were people who dismissed his claims. Skeptics say his stories lack proof and sound more like sci-fi than science fact. They called him out for spreading conspiracy theories and not backing up his claims with hard evidence. Love him or doubt him, Alex Collier is still out there, telling tales of cosmic experience and intergalactic insights, leaving us wondering, is he the real deal or just another storyteller in a universe full of mysteries? Number 10. Simon Parkes. This British city councillor gave a whole interview on TV about his extraterrestrial experience. Quite odd that would be, but what strange things we haven't encountered by now. Simon Parkes claimed to have had numerous encounters with aliens throughout his life. Everyone else on this list did. From his childhood to adulthood, Parkes alleged he had been abducted and taken aboard spacecraft by extraterrestrial beings. He states that these experiences shaped his beliefs and led him to share his story with the world. Imagine being 6 months old and having your first encounter with aliens. That's what Parkes claimed had happened to him. He further added by claiming that these encounters continued throughout his life, involving medical examinations and even forming personal connections with some of these otherworldly beings. He even believed that his biological mom was actually a 9-foot-tall alien with 8 fingers. He's talked about this, along with other strange experiences, in interviews and documentaries like The Anomalous Mind Management and Abductee-Contactee Helpline Project. But it's not just about his experiences with aliens. Parkes has also talked about controversial topics like global politics and conspiracy theories. He's talked about secret government programs and shadowy organizations, stirring up quite a bit of skepticism and criticism along the way. Despite criticism from many quarters, Parkes remains steadfast in his beliefs. He's appeared on TV shows and podcasts, sharing his encounters and insights with the public. And while his claims may raise eyebrows among skeptics, they've also gained him a dedicated following of believers who hang on his every word. Number 11. Elizabeth Clara. Ever heard of a human-alien love story? I have one for you. Elizabeth Clara, a South African woman born in 1910, claimed to have a love interest from another world. She claimed that in 1956, she made contact with an extraterrestrial named Archon from the planet Meton, which orbits the star system Alpha Centauri. According to Clara, Archon visited her multiple times over several years and even took her on a journey through space to his home planet. Clara further added that she received messages emphasizing the importance of love and warning against the dangers of nuclear war in these encounters. She described Meton as a beautiful world, teeming with life and advanced technology, contrasting sharply with life on Earth. Despite criticism, Clara remained steadfast in her beliefs. She wrote books and gave lectures about her experiences, aiming to spread her message of peace and unity. Clara's personal life also had its own share of adventure. She married a pilot named Johannes Clara and had a son with him. Even after her death in 1994, Elizabeth Clara's story continues to fascinate and provoke debate at the same time. Some dismiss it as a fanciful tale, while others believe it to be a genuine encounter with extraterrestrials. Regardless of what one believes, Clara's story serves as a reminder that love can extend beyond the borders of Earth. Number 12. Marshall Applewhite. We have heard of many bizarre cult leaders before, but this one used science along with spirituality to allure people. Marshall Applewhite is a fascinating yet troubled figure of history. Born in 1931, he had a religious upbringing, but later explored various philosophies and struggled with his own identity. In the 1970s, Applewhite started formulating his own religious ideas, blending Christianity with New Age concepts and a touch of sci-fi flair. He started convincing people that he was a messenger of God and communicated with extraterrestrial beings from higher dimensions. Quite typical of self-proclaimed prophets, but here's the twist. Applewhite met Bonnie Nettles, a nurse sharing his spiritual interests, and together they formed Heaven's Gate. Heaven's Gate attracted followers who found solace in Applewhite's compelling leadership and the promise of salvation. They believed Earth was doomed for recycling, and escaping this fate meant leaving their bodies behind for a higher existence. In 1997, Applewhite convinced 39 members of Heaven's Gate to commit mass suicide. That is holy crap for sure. The tragedy unfolded in a San Diego mansion where they consumed a lethal cocktail of drugs and alcohol. The event shocked the world, warning people of the dangers of cults and extreme beliefs. So guys, that was it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Which person do you think sounds the most believable of them all, and which one was the most spooky? Have you ever encountered a person with such wild claims? If yes, do let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Also hit the bell icon to get all our videos on time. Until next time.